Part half. Be me. 2017. Have friends over my granny's house. She was gone for some reason and told me to take care of the house and her dog. Pardowithemies 2K17.jpg. Drinking, smoking and shit. Friend asks me where do they sleep. Told them they sleep in basement and I sleep in first floor. To mention, the first floor wasn't really used by that time anymore. There used to be a living room, 2 bedrooms that were connected, kitchen and toilet. My granny used to live in the first floor, so the basement was left unmaintained. Bro, I got weird feeling down there, just show me where all the light switches are. 8. TBF, even I had a weird feeling down there. All the rooms were darker and the fact it was basically abandoned left a big mark. Time to go to bed. Showed my friends their room and told them to behave or I'll whoop their asses with my old grandpa's shotgun. They weren't good boys. Had to go downstairs twice since they were making a mess and yelling out loud. Got shitty neighbors and didn't want to get in trouble. All good for some time. Then I hear rumble on the staircase. Open the door of my room. Silence. Okay, back to bed. Hear it again. As if someone from downstairs was trying to get up quickly and back down. That's it FFS. Get down again. Boys in bed, on their phones, one of them was asleep. There was 4 of them in total. Yo, what's up, one says. Just go to fucking bed and stop fucking with me, I'm tired of this, I say. What do you mean? Just shut the fuck up, sleep. Coming back upstairs to my bed. All quiet and peaceful at last. Fell asleep and had a good fucking sleep. Next day I wake up and come downstairs. Friends already ready to go. Yo, can we go now? Well, first let's clean all the mess and then we can go. They look kinda shaky and as if they didn't get any sleep. Most of them were silent for a whole day, even in car back on the way home. Didn't really think much of it. In my house there's an inexplicable feeling that there's something fucked up going on in the dining room. My mother and sister are convinced it's the ghost of a family member because they're superstitious retards, but me and my father are a bit more critical of it and suspect it's some kind of malicious entity. Allow me to explain. Part half. Be me. Gunbla nerd. Working through a model kit. Use the dining room table as a workbench because I have no space elsewhere. Always feel a sense of dread when I'm alone. Room isn't even scary, just crowded. Middle of the day, still bright out. Put shit on in the background because I'm a faggot who hates silence but also hates the sound of my family talking. Good ass episode of Sleepycast, Corey spouting retarded bullshit as per usual. All of a sudden feel like there's someone else in the room with me. See something move past the chair parallel to me. Look up. Nothing. I'd forgotten I'd closed the door when I came in. Only creature in the room, cats elsewhere. Unnerving but I'm paranoid anyway, so who cares now. Go back to babby ridging about small parts and almost losing them because my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms spaghetti. About 20 minutes go by, forget about it completely. Feeling of not being alone returns. This time it's fucked. Some awful energy coming from one corner of the room. It's near the door. Fuck. Frozen in place, can't concentrate. Imagine someone staring you down with absolute fury. That's what this thing felt like. Lingers for a good 5 minutes straight. Genuine feeling of danger. Fight or flight on maximum overdrive. Couldn't do either. Try to hopefully lock eyes with whatever the fuck it is. Chicken out when the dread intensifies. Persists for another 5 minutes. Eventually dissipates. This is an anomaly at my house in my village which I visit every year once or twice to chill there with my girlfriend. Apologies if it's hard to read, it's my first green text. Part 1/. Be me. Have a house in a village. Nothing fancy, 1 bedroom and 1 kitchen, and bathroom. Village is almost completely abandoned, used to have about 200 people living here but as economy got more centralized people began leaving. Now has about 10 permanent residents, all nice people, friendly but mind their own business. B 2018, Spring. Me, my girlfriend and my dog come to village house to chill for about 2 weeks. We're here before noon, and we start unloading the groceries and getting the house comfy. Brought plenty of supplies because the nearest grocery shop is in a not-so-nearby town about 5 hours away. Planted some fruit trees the year before, but they're making no progress. Looks like they're going to die, even though I'm tending them. Spend the day grilling and chilling. I love me some meat, but unlike my GF I also love salad. Make some tomato salad, but unfortunately I made a bit too much. Feel bad to throw it away, so I decide to finish it. Can't do it, man, I'm gonna be sick, full of meat, bread, beer and tomatoes? Guess I'll dump them later. GF cuts up some watermelon. I didn't want to buy any, but she insisted, even though it's too early for tasty watermelon. Turns out it tastes like shit. Told you so. Nighttime comes. Take the leftover tomatoes and shitty watermelon and dump them behind the house. Go to sleep. Next day. GF wakes up early, I wake up late. She nags how she already peeled some potatoes to make some fries and how I'm doing nothing. For fuck's sake, woman, we're here to chill. I can wake up when I want. Start making some dough cause I want bread to eat later for lunch. Finished up with that, eat breakfast, and go to throw away the potato peels behind house. Drop the peels, but notice something. No tomatoes? Weird. Be me. 28. Do some yoga. Not actively, just here and there. Mostly meditation, to be clear. Communicate with animals using my mind. Not a big deal. GIF. Don't even think of it as a power. Meet some fag that can read my mind at a job. Calls himself Sasquatch. We work with cannabis. Think he's a hippie. Pretty sure he's semi-retarded. Tells me all this shit about superpowers, science, psychic abilities. Think it's great cause I play fantasy games and like the genre. Starts telling me my future. Tells me this bullshit story about how I do all this fucked up shit later on and end up homeless. Tells me he lived my life. Don't take seriously, but enjoy the story. Wonder how he comes up with this shit. Tells me he can move his consciousness into a plant's body and remote view. Tells me all about the plants in my yard. Front and back. MFW. Has never been invited to my house. Assures me it's cool because I'm always being watched anyway. Tells me I should meditate under the plum tree in my backyard. Says with my ability to communicate with wildlife it'll be easy to talk to the tree. Disregarding rape vibes in pursuit of pow.jpg. Think about it. Decide I will. TBC. Something which happened 2 years ago. Be me and friend. Summer camp preparations. The place is right by a big forest. The boss lets us sleep in his trailer that night, since there aren't any tents yet and it was still spring, still a bit chilly for my country. It's only me and my friend. Get drunk, do dumb shit. Wanna go to bed. Get sick from all the alcohol we drank. I go outside for some fresh air. Walking around the whole hour. I realize it's completely dark and I'm all alone by this fucking forest. Sits down on a bench, thinking. Just out of curiosity I say, if anything's over here, give me a sign. Wind gets stronger. Dogs from all around started barking like crazy. Big footsteps coming from the forest, as if someone was plowing through the leaves and high grass, right towards me. I'm about to head out. Nope the fuck out back into the trailer. Besides that, after all those years, this is the only weird thing I experienced back there. Who is Harrison Briggs? Harrison is a targeted individual. He is the victim of rape and torture by cultists and the U.S. police. He has been used as a training dummy by school shooters and their government agency handlers. Harrison documents his life as evidence of the crimes that have been committed against him. The CIA is always around him. Always. Harrison's channel. www.youtube.com web link. Harrison's other channel. www.youtube.com web link. Harrison's TikTok. www.tiktok.com web link. I won't give up on finding and saving my mother. Why should I? Thank you to everyone who asked someone in a uniform that question. I won't give up on myself. They deleted almost all of my videos. How long will that work for? They deleted videos from this morning. The whole world is on my side. They are not going to make the whole world forget me. There's something called email. There's an ability to copy things. Nothing gets deleted. They're the ones who are being forgotten. Whoever is pretending to be me has been replaced a ton of times. People have copies all over the world of videos that I made several years ago. My whole life is the Truman Show. These people will be forgotten. Not me. Not my mother. Thank you to the 1%ers and the police departments that aren't gay for all of their help. I can't write green texts, but here you lunatics go anyways. Be me several years ago. Move with family to a tiny ass town in the middle of nowhere. Sophomore year in high school. Lonely as fuck after leaving friends from old city. Every lunch period I'd have a table to myself. Hate being lonely and desperately wanted to change. One night I decide to pray to God in a semi-jokingly way. I pray for company or a big titty goth GF and call it a night. And I shit you not. The next day everything is going fine at school up until lunchtime. As I'm eating lunch at my table, this girl I don't know sits down at my table with me. She's Caucasian and dressed in all black, around 5'10ish, overall was a solid 7/10. She decides to come back to the table daily with me and we get to know each other a bit better. Turns out she's nearly a perfect stereotypical 2000s goth girl. I ended up dropping out of school that year due to stress issues, but I never forgot her or that happening. That was the year I figured out God doesn't only hear prayers, but he also has a pretty decent sense of humor as well. Be me. Probably around 13-14. Chilling in my room alone late at night, doing fucking nothing if I recall correctly, just sitting on the floor. All of a sudden start hearing noises, start to sound like unintelligible whispers. Can't figure out where they're coming from. Put ears to the walls, the registers, doesn't seem like it's either. Start to panic for some reason, which isn't like me at all. Literally about to cry, never experienced panic like this before, certainly not enough for tears. Can't for the life me figure out the source of them, still panicking, start believing they're in my head. Eventually feelings subside and the whispers go away like nothing happened. Again chilling late night, at my computer, probably around 16-17. Out of nowhere, pure rage. Didn't read some stupid shit online, didn't remember anything maddening, just mad as fuck for no reason. So mad that I get out of my chair and sit on the ground to calm down, clenching my teeth and fists. Eventually calm down. Neither are necessarily paranormal, but I still can't figure out what the fuck happened. There was nothing to note during either of these times that could have caused these borderline slips into psychosis. Be me. The king of G. Use coding skills to find the truth of telepathy. Turns out aliens. Omgwat.jpg. Slowly learn of Corey Good and David Wilcock. Stephen Greer 2 on back burner. Learn of telepathy crystals. Learn of ascension. Find out about Idominus timeline versus basically Druid timeline. Denounce I timeline. As king of G switch to novice of X. Basic bitch meditator. What do? Info king of technology. Literally invented SIP scheme Lisp second day of coding class. Be me. About 10-12 yo. Midsummer, stuck at my parents' apartment, and it's so hot in the tiny room I share with my sister that I just can't sleep. Like 2 to 3 a.m., all sweaty. I go take a cold shower in the bathroom. Everyone's asleep but me, older brother's probably gone. Old, cramped place, so the bathroom door opens on the kitchen. The kitchen's window is opened, and I can hear the neighbors talking and laughing in the small yard, 3 stories below. Shitty neighbor, has his yard filled with trash and rats but overall a nice guy. I take my shower, voices continue. Mainly a loud lady that laughs a lot. Moments of silence. Feels a bit airy for some reason. Suddenly same female voice, but it's a horrible, long, painful shout. Feels absolutely genuine. Skin crawl, frozen in place. Absolute silence. Can't make a move for like 10-15 minutes because my child ass is petrified. In the yard, people continue to talk after some silence, probably the same female voice even. And it's like there's no context at all to the shout. Back to bed as fast as I can kick. I still have no idea what happened, maybe it's absolutely mundane or for some reason I misinterpreted what I heard. But it really terrified me back then. There was some other bullshit that happened in that building, like the old former janitor once banged at our door in the middle of the night with a knife in her hand, and at some point also destroyed my mom's letterbox for no apparent reason. She was a schizo, I think.